Well, hey, y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. I'm so happy to see y'all here on Hump Day. Yes, this is Hump Day on a Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Hump Day to me because it means we're sliding into the weekend. We've climbed the ladder to get up to Wednesday. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I had my sound turned off, but I didn't. I did it again. So, anyway, we got all the stupid ads running on my phone for the live. There we are. We're on there now. So I want to welcome in Jamie's Country Living and Milk and Honey Heritage Farms and Celebrating Farm Life. Welcome in. Get your name on my list. As y'all know, I usually do watch time with everybody. I can no longer comment on every video. I wish I could. So what I have decided to do, and I may be getting away a little bit from watching a lot of videos in the coming months because we are growing. We are 4 away from reaching 1,800 as of this morning. Super, super excited about that. But as you grow, it's harder and harder to keep up with everybody that comes through. And even though my commenters are still few and far between, it's just really hard on me to keep up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing out channels throughout the week. I'll go and pick a video of yours. I may get to watch it, I may not, but I will be sharing out videos in place of watch hours. That way other people can get over to your channel and maybe give you some watch time as well. I hate doing that. I really hate doing that, y'all. You just have no idea. But it is getting harder and harder for me to keep up. And I am super, super busy because we have a mini farm. And I've been canning, and I'll be canning all winter, it looks like, because my freezers are still stocked to the brim with food that needs to be processed in some way, fashion, form. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's busy around here. I named today's Let's Be Friends Live September Follies. And I thought it would be kind of fun to go back to the Ziegfeld Follies and talk a little bit about what happened in the Ziegfelds. If y'all have never watched those old 1940s Ziegfeld Follies, you're missing out because that's one of my favorites. Hey, John Paul, welcome in. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that. We're going to get into a little bit of politics, not a lot, just basic what's happening kind of thing. Hey, Musgrave Family Farm, get your name right. And I am going to talk about some things that are going on that we need to be aware of. So we'll get into that later on in the show. Hey, Victoria G and Bella, welcome in. That's Bella's Whisper Farmstead. And Victoria G, get y'all's name on my list. I wish I could remember names like I do phone numbers, y'all. I really do. It's kind of fun. I am struggling this morning. I have something going on with my lungs, and I'm assuming it is from the diabetic shot that I've been getting because every time I take the shot, I start wheezing. So I'm assuming that's what it is. So I'm going to the doctor on Friday. I'm going to be talking to her about that medication. I really want to get off of it. I'm going to probably be going full on keto. My husband ain't going to be happy with me, but I'm going to go full on keto because I've got to get the diabetes under control. It's not being controlled by medication. It's not being controlled by our diet right now. And I got to do something that's going to help me out. Awesome. Got some conversation going on in the chat. I was just reading through some of that. So right now I've got tomatoes on my stove. I'm getting ready to can. I'm going to be canning after this live is over with. I've got to get the tomatoes cooked down so that I can make enchilada sauce. Doesn't that sound yummy? I thought, well, I was looking through some of the recipes and I was like, I want something different on my pantry shelf because you get bored with the same old food all the time. And so I went online and I was looking. I couldn't find a good recipe that I wanted. And then all of a sudden I went to Pinterest and there it was. So I got it written down in my book and then I lost the website it came from. I couldn't find it again. When you go to Pinterest, they don't always tell you what you last viewed on there. So enchilada sauce can be used in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be used on enchiladas. It's just a good sauce. So I thought, well, this would be great. Yeah, there is so many side effects from medication. And I feel like the side effects are worse than the actual problem that I'm dealing with the diabetes. So I have decided I'm going to tell her no more. I just can't do it. I have a long list of allergic reactions to medications. I have a long list of allergic reactions to diabetic medications on top of that list. So I'm just done. I'm done. Stick a fork in me, I'm cooked. I'm kind of perturbed about it because I think that the pharmaceuticals and the doctors should be looking out for our welfare and not stuffing us full of chemicals that is harming our body in other ways. So I appreciate those prayers, celebrating farm life. I really, really do. And I am deep breathing. I've got out my little oxygen meter. This was a lifesaver when I had Covovo pneumonia. And I'm just going to turn it on and see what it says. I know my oxygen's dropped. It's been running around 99. And it's 97 right now. So 97 isn't too bad. I don't know if it'll pick it up. It's not going to. 97 isn't too bad, but it is a little bit lower than it should be. And I am doing the elderberry syrup and the raw purple onion and raw honey. I've been doing garlic and honey, a little bit of the oregano oil. So I've been doing a lot of things to try to break this up. Adventures and Gardening, welcome in. So what I did is I went online and I started looking at all the side effects of all these diabetic medications. And I was shocked. I really and truly was shocked. Dementia, Alzheimer's, among other things, which tells me more than likely it's got an aluminum base in it. And I avoid aluminum like there's no tomorrow because my mother cooked with aluminum cookware and she developed early onset Alzheimer's. And the doctors all told me and my sister, no more aluminum, anything in your house. I don't even really use aluminum foil very often. I use it occasionally for certain things that you just can't get away from. But I don't cook with it. I don't use it. I use parchment paper in place of the aluminum foil in my oven. If I'm going to wrap something, it's going to be wrapped in parchment or it's going to be in a covered casserole. You can also do the same thing if you're outdoors cooking. You can use a Dutch oven with a lid on it. You're still going to get that good flavor from the barbecue grill. You're still going to get that because it's going to get into that lid. You can actually raise that lid up a little bit. on the edges, you can place a couple of toothpicks or something to just lift that lid up just enough for that smoke to get in there. So I'm looking for alternatives. And I'm going to be looking for a lot of keto recipes to kind of get things under control. Weight is another issue because I was on the Ozempic and then I was on the Mounjaro, and they kept flip-flopping the medications, and I finally ended up with a bacterial gastritis, which was affecting my colon. So it was just no. Yeah, you can also, would you use on grill slates? What would you use on grill slates? I'm not sure. Chaffles is good. That's a good suggestion there, Heather. I'm going to come up with some solutions, though, because I don't want all the carbs that are going to continue to affect my pancreas and keep me from getting healthy. So the weight issue is one of them. Another thing that these insulin shots do is they cause fat pockets to form wherever you're shooting that needle in, like in your legs or your belly. That's usually the general areas that those go in. And so it causes fat pockets to develop, and it also can help you to retain fat. So I don't want to be doing all that. Hey, artist, storyteller Donnie, welcome in. So health is on my mind this morning, but did y'all see the super moon, harvest moon / lunar eclipse last night? That's 3 different signs at once in the sky, y'all, and that's biblical. The Bible talks about this, and we're going to talk about it in our devotional a little bit today. I have pulled some scriptures together. Doesn't make much sense, but I'm going to tell you that I pulled a little bit of scripture together for that. Let me go here and grab this. Pulling up the stakes. You're doing better than me, Jamie. We still got food out in the garden coming in. They are putting so much in our food and medication that's poisonous and causes all sorts of health issues. A lot of kickbacks for government, pharma, and doctors. They don't want us well. They lose money. Absolutely. So I'm in 100% agreement with that statement. Hey, Gail with Broken Hearts Ministry. I'm going to be on Gail's channel tomorrow. I forget which one, Gail. Is it the Broken Hearts Ministry or your other channel? I get confused. That's another thing. Some of the things, the side effects that I've been having is I've been having brain fog, dizziness, ringing in my ears, memory loss, just a host of things that doesn't make sense, and headaches, fatigue. The polyneuropathy in my legs have gotten twice as bad as it's ever been, which is also causing me to have a bigger fall risk. I don't want to fall. I don't want to go back to the hospital and be x-rayed or put through a CAT scan or whatever to find out if I have any more broken bones in my back. So, I'm going to go in there armed to the hilt with my knowledge, and I'm going to let her know that this is not acceptable from the pharmaceuticals, and I am not going to continue to take these medications if they're going to continue to have all these side effects, whether they're generalized side effect, what they call generalized side effects or not. It's affecting my body, and I don't like the effects that it's having on my body. So I am really kind of livid about this. I went through all that with the Ozempic and the Mounjaro and that mess, and it took me months to get my system back in order. She put me on this. She just upped my dose at the beginning of the month. And y'all, when I start having breathing problems like this, it's time to say bye-bye to the medication. Hello, Joy with Nature Loves ASMR. And y'all, I'm going to go just check my tomatoes real quick. I want to turn it down on low. I forgot to do that. So give me just a moment. I'll be right back. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. Oh, that didn't take me long. Hey, Nancy with Our Treasured Home. Welcome in. I hope I didn't miss anybody coming in. Let me go over our current list of members. I like to give these shout outs each and every live that I do on my Wednesday lives because they do to support this channel and I am blessed by them. So, Life of Lucretia, Triple Threat Firearms and Defense, McKay 235, Aerial Viking Venturer and Victuals, Smoky Mountain Blessed, Gail's Southern Living, Artist Storyteller Donnie, Adenir, Garden State So-and-So, Jennifer Ocean Homestead, Indiana Backyard Gardener, Shannon My Little Homestead, Sweet Melissa at Coastal Girl, Musgrave Family Farm, Wellness with Frugal Mama, Ann's Place, Barb's Country Home, Judy Mae Collins, and Home Bartending with John. So if you're just coming in, I announced at the very beginning of this, it's getting harder and harder for me to keep up with the watch later list and so forth. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm already not commenting as much as I used to. I used to comment on every video. I can't do that any longer. I can't keep up. So what I have decided to do is I am going to start sharing out y'all's videos on social media. So throughout the week, I will be sharing it out on 1, maybe 2 platforms, maybe 3 platforms, up to 6 platforms. So I've got 6 different places I can share. And I thought, well, this might be a better way to draw more people into your channels to find you, because we know how YouTube is with a small channel community. We get pushed to the bottom of the heap. I don't care what they say. They push us down, and we want to be able to be seen so that we can grow our community. And I thought, well, this might be a better way for us to grow. Victoria G, I started doing the slow mode on here because I can't keep up with comments. And so I want to be able to watch the comments roll. So it's set for 10 seconds. 10 seconds isn't long. So you can go up to 60 seconds and probably higher than that. But I thought, with everybody that comes through the live, this 10-second is not going to hurt anybody to wait just that few seconds to get your message out there. So anyway, I'm going to be trying that out, see how it works out. And I'm probably going to only share maybe 4 or 5 of y'all a day. I'm going to try to get everybody through Monday through Friday because I want my weekends to myself. I really do. Yeah, it's hard to comment on videos, when you're trying to help somebody out. I don't want to use the WH words, if y'all know what I'm saying. YouTube frowns on this. So we are going to try to do something different that is going to draw people into your channel. I may be watching the video. I may not be watching the videos, just so y'all know. I just don't have the time. I will still put it in my watch later list. And as I get to it, that's going to be how it goes. So I wanted to let y'all know that I am 4 away from 1,800 friends. That's exciting news. I'm getting closer to 2K. And Donnie and Joy have offered to donate a prize for my 2K, which will be one of Donnie's original paintings. So I'm excited about that one. He's a great artist, and they're great friends, great supporters of this channel. And y'all find out who your people are, because your people are the people that come to your channel and watch you regularly on a regular basis and comment on a regular basis. Those are your people. All the rest of us out here that come in occasionally and, comment are not your people. I hate to say it like that, but they're not. But they're still being supportive. Don't get me wrong. Yes, thank you so much, Donnie. I appreciate that so much. So we may do a little giveaway at the 2K mark. I won't be giving big prizes like I did the first time around, or a lot of prizes, because I gave a lot of prizes out. It's just expensive to mail out anything these days. But I will be giving out a prize or some prizes for the Scarecrow 24 on the October 2nd live. You have to comment on the videos in the playlist. I'm going to pull them at random. The collaborators are going to get a prize or two, and then commenters are going to get some prizes, and then people that are actually in the chat that day that didn't comment may get some prizes from here as well. You have to be present to win. You can't just comment and think you're going to get that prize. You have to be present. So, and you also have to be lower 48 USA only, because I cannot send it everywhere. It is not related to YouTube. And once those prizes leave my hands, I am no longer responsible for lost or damaged prizes. I cannot replace them. I wish I could. But, you got to understand, I'm just a person, just like you are. And just like you are, I'm mailing out a present to somebody. And if that present makes it, hey, that's wonderful. If that present doesn't make it, I can't replace it. I'm sorry. And I really think that the United States Postal Service ought to reimburse us for all their lost and damaged products that we mail out. I forgot what I was going to say. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm having brain farts, and I don't like this. I have them anyway because I have a small white mass on my frontal lobe that is unspecified. They don't know what it is, what caused it. And so I struggle with words anyway. So that this on top of that does not help me. So, Fall Fest 24 is going on. I'm going to be doing my semifinalist drawing on October the 2nd as well in a separate video. You will have 72 hours to contact me if you are drawn as a semifinalist. If you do not contact me within 72 hours, I will draw a second time. That person will then have 72 hours to contact me. If you contact me after the 72 hours, you've already forfeited your gift. I'm sorry. I can only give one. And I always give a semifinalist prize to my semifinalist. It will be a gift card. This is for USA only. I want to say lower 48, but Gail didn't include that in there. But it is going to be a gift card, and it is going to be more than likely a digital gift card or an e-card. Yeah, Donnie often gives away his paintings. Thank you for putting that up. Oh, I'm losing you. I don't know what that was. That was a little glitch. So he donated original paintings to his friends. Are you subscribed and watching? Let me plug my computer back in because I don't know what's going on here. I am having problems over here. Technical difficulties. Donnie, well, what is all this about? We want to help Donnie get more friends to his channel. So if y'all can go over, if you're not already friended him, go over there and check out some of his stuff. He's a terrific guy, great support. Out for a moment and see. I'm going to back out and see if this will help. I'm back. Okay. Maybe that'll help. I don't know what's going on. The skies are clear. There's actually not a cloud in the sky today. The sun is shining. We've had 6 days of rain. I think we had 11.5 inches was the final count for those 6 days of rain. That's a lot of rain, y'all. Oh, no. So if anybody can go over and give Donnie some, WH, that would be appreciated as well. So I'm going to go into the Ziegfeld Follies, and let me pull that up real quick because I've got it on my cell phone. Okay. Ziegfeld Follies was 1945, and I forget how long they went on, but it started, I think, was in 1945. It was in the 40s. And I love watching the old Ziegfeld Follies because it was entertainment. It was all, they were doing entertainment skits and stuff, whether it was musical, tap dancing, singing, comedy. You had a good variety on there. So Lena Horne hated the ghetto setting for Love so much that she refused to make a commercial single of it, although she would use the song in her nightclub act several years later. I'm getting this off tvtropes.org. Creative differences. The original director, George Sidney, quit after a month of filming and was placed by Vincent Minnelli. Vincent Minnelli. If Swing Goes, I Go Too was lyrics by Fred Astaire. It was directed by George Sidney, sung and danced by Fred Astaire, and the audio available on Rhino's soundtrack CD and Warner Brothers home DVD collection. You're getting rain there, Jamie? Oh, no. Start off each day with a song was music and lyrics by Jimmy Durante. Do y'all know who Jimmy Durante is? He's the guy that had the big nose. He was known for his nose. He was a comical character. It was directed by Charles Walters and performed by Jimmy Durante. He was a great actor, singer, songwriter, a lot of talent there. A Cowboy's Life was directed by Meryl Pye. It was sung by James Melton. Liza, a music by George Gershwin, lyrics by Ira Gershwin, was directed by Vincent Minnelli and sung by Avon Long in the MGM Studio Chorus to Lena Horne audio available on Rhino's soundtrack CD. Hey, Mark, welcome in. That's Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. We'll meet again in Honolulu. Music by Nikio Herb Brown. Lyrics by Arthur Freed. Directed by Merle Pye. Was sung by James Melton. And Esther Williams' Water Ballet was also in the Ziegfeld Follies. Hey, Gail. Welcome in, Gail Southern Living. And Esther Williams, I don't know if y'all know that, but she was in the U.S. Olympics, or was a U.S. Olympics team member back in her day. She was a beautiful woman, had a lot of beautiful things. Hello, my daughter April. Welcome in. And I always loved watching the water ballets and the Ziegfeld Follies. So it was very, very nice to watch that kind of stuff. They had a couple of comedy scenes that got cut. Baby Snooks and the Burglar was directed by Roy Del Ruth, performed by Fanny Bryce and Hanley Stanford and the B.S. Pulley. Death in Texas was directed by Vincent Minnelli, performed by Jimmy Durante, Kay Williams, Stephen McNally, and Edward Arnold. Dueling Stars movie. This was one of the 2 times Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly danced together in a film after being That's Entertainment Part 2. Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire were probably some of my favorite actors. Danny Kaye was another one I loved. James Cagney. All of those were actors that I really loved when I was growing up. Let's see. Judy Garland was in this. What Could Have Been. The Great Lady Has an Interview was originally offered to Greer Garson as a spoof of her high-tone Mistress Miniver, Madame Curie image. And so A Great Lady Has an Interview was one of the songs that Judy Garland got to do. Hey, A.R. Patriot 1776. That's Mr. Elliott. Let's see. A Minstrel Number with Garland, Rooney, Astaire, Gene Kelly, Lou Holtz, and Nancy Walker was done. There was a duet with Lena Horne and Herb Jeffries. There was a skit with Wallace Beery and Marjorie Main. I mean, there were so many actors in the Ziegfeld Follies. It was just an amazing lineup, no matter which show you got to watch, which movie you got to watch of this. Just a lot of fun. And so the Ziegfeld Follies was a great, great genre of the time period. And I wish we had more of that, because I'll be honest with you, I don't like watching TV this day and age because I don't like what they're putting out. I just thought that was some interesting tidbits that I could share with y'all. Get rid of that and get rid of that and go back to my live so I can see what y'all are saying over here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already friended the channel, please do. I would love to have you here. And we've got 16 people in the chat. That's pretty good, pretty good. So I have kept up with everybody. Yay, me. I am sipping on some tea this morning. I've got a red singer in here, a cough drop in here, and a bronchial tea in here. A breathe easy or something to that effect. Trying to break up that congestion in my chest that's being caused by the medication that the doctors got me on for diabetes. So we have a lot of fun on our Wednesday lives. Usually I try to find things that are interesting for y'all that I can share with you. I thought maybe we can do some more trivia type things this winter. Get back into some of that. But we're going to do a little bit of news. I don't want to do the news, but y'all know how it goes. Yeah, I don't really watch anything new either. My daughter's drinking chamomile and marshmallow root tea. That's awesome, April. Hello, Dan with Handicapped Traveler. Welcome in. Yeah, that sounds like a good tea. There was a 5-4 decision by SCOTUS that struck down the rewrite of the Title IX, which would allow men in women's sports in their bathrooms and their locker rooms and their dorms and compelled speech. So SCOTUS knocked that down, so they can't do that. My daughter doesn't like the news. And a judge has recently ordered Dominion founder to do a deposition. I thought, well, it's about time. You know, we've had all this, what they think is election interference. We don't know. But we want to get to the bottom of it to find out if it was or not and get that straightened out. 60,000 people have requested tickets to number 45's rally in Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. That's an amazing number, but the Coliseum only has a capacity to hold 16,000. So there's going to be a lot of disappointed people out there. Did y'all know that the average length of a marriage is 8 years? If you make it to year 9, guess what? You're above average. And if you make it 20 years, you're above average. If you make it 30 years, you're way above average. Your IQ has increased. Isn't that great? Today is National Cheeseburger Day, and I'm going to call my hubby up and say, bring home cheeseburgers. I'm craving a cheeseburger. Who doesn't like a good cheeseburger, though, really and truly? And I think it does deserve a national day. September the 7th is the day that the U.S. Constitution was signed at the Constitutional Convention on September the 17th, 1787. It had 38 delegates to revise America's first Constitution, the Articles of Confederation, to sign a new U.S. Constitution. It is the day that the U.S. Constitution was completely signed in Philadelphia, PA. So that was yesterday. The Declaration of Independence was signed on July the 4th, 1776, and we celebrate that every year. Yay, Gail. Yeah, honey, I know. My daughter's at 20 years, y'all. Almost 20 years. Bella's at 23 years of marriage. Gail's between 9 and 10 years. My husband and I are 23 years. 26 years for Milk and Honey. Awesome. I gave Jamie an idea for supper. Joy and Donnie have been married over 30 years. That's amazing. You know, we see so much divorce rate in our nation. And when we see people that have stuck together through thick and thin, they need to be celebrated. I think anniversaries are important. And unfortunately, we don't celebrate anniversaries with family anymore like we used to. It's just, happy anniversary, honey. Happy anniversary, and nobody else cares. But I care. I think it's very exciting when we see couples being together for a long, long time. I love you long time. That's what my husband tells me. I love you long time. So I don't have a whole lot on here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the panel. Would y'all like to come up on panel? You have to be somebody that I know. You have to show your face. And you cannot use any bad language on here. You have to be clean. You know what I'm talking about to be on panel. So we've got all kinds of stuff we can talk about. We've got open collaborations. We've got closed collaborations, upcoming collaborations, all kinds of wonderful giveaways and stuff going on. The fall season has hit. Hey, Pete, welcome in. So here comes the link. Get you on my list, Pete. If y'all haven't checked out Scratchin' Pete's channel, please do. He is a 100% supporter here, along with Smoky Mountain Blast, Handicapped Traveler, Jamie's Country Living, and Our Treasured Home, among others. Y'all are my people. Just want to let you know that. You're my people. I also have a daughter that is on Facebook that has become an Avon representative. If anybody's interested in that, I can send you a link. Just email me a quick message, say, I need Avon, and I will get that out to you. And my link didn't drop. Okay, let's get it to drop. There it goes. So we've got it to drop. I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the top. Pin message. And I'm so glad that I've got so many moderators in here. Thank you, moderators, for coming in and just making sure that the live goes very smoothly and well. When I did my vertical live the other day, we kept getting messages that a message had been deleted. And I think it was a glitch with Nightbot. I'm not sure. Okay, both my daughters. Are you selling Avon too, April? Okay. Yeah. Jamie, I've been longer with my husband too, but you've been together since 1979. Wow. That's wonderful. I wasn't even out of high school yet. Oh my goodness. Gotta have some tea. So somebody come on up and we can chat. We've got a lot of collaborations going on. I don't have my book over here. I don't even know where it's at. But I've got all the collaborations written out. You're doing Avon too. So that's wonderful. I knew that you were into the paparazzi jewelry at one time. I also have a cousin that does that on Facebook too. So if y'all are interested in any of those, I can get you to the link. I'll give you the link to get to their page. So I think anytime that anybody can step out and be an entrepreneur is a wonderful thing. My daddy was an entrepreneur. He was an upholsterer. Nancy says she was 10 years old in 1979. Jamie and her husband are elementary sweethearts. Dan, how long have you and Miss Kathy been married? I would love to know that. Let's celebrate anniversaries. It takes a lot for a person to stay together with another person. 29 years for Dan and Kathy. Woohoo! Coming off on the big 3-0. That's awesome. Heather says she was 4 in 1979. That's great. That's great. Love it, love it, love it. Well, the baby duck is doing very well. It's growing quickly. So I told my husband, you're going to have to figure out where you're going to put this thing outside once it gets too big to be in the house. In the little tub that we've got it in, the little homemade brooder. We have not gotten any other ducks to hatch. So this probably will be the only one we get. And we're fixing to probably take away all the unhatched eggs from the chickens that are broody and dispose of them because it's going to be cold here soon. I don't want to be raising baby chicks in the wintertime. I really don't, because that means I have to bring them in the house and deal with them in the house. And then when it's time to put them outside, they're going to be shocked because of the temperature change. So I don't want to do that. So the baby duck's doing good. It's walking around. It's eating its food. It's drinking. It's doing a lot of sleeping and growing. Okay, you're not on cam today. We have a lot of chickens out there in brooders right now. One brooder's, I think they're about ready to come out of the brooder. We took the bigger chicks out last week or the week before, and they're in the grow out pen. These other chicks are all BB red, so they can go right into the pen they're in. And then we have 4 or 6 little, maybe 2 to 3 week old BB reds out there now. So I'm pretty much done with, excuse me, now I'm belching. I'm pretty much done with raising baby chicks right now. We're trying to build up our flock. The older chicks that we bought earlier this year are laying now. So that means we're getting eggs in. The older hens are slowing down on laying. So it's kind of nice to have the extra eggs coming in. And y'all, if you get too many eggs, take them and put them in Ziploc bags, scramble them up, put them in a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer, bring it out when you want an omelet or you need eggs for baking or something like that. You can put them in there, 2 eggs. Most recipes are 2 eggs, 6 eggs for an omelet for 2, that kind of thing. And it just comes out to be really, really handy to have on hand. And then when the chickens slow down, you've got eggs. What's going on with Gail? You're not feeling well today, Gail? Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Gail, for renewing your membership. I appreciate that. So I'm going to get on here and write Gail down. Prayer requests. Anybody have prayer requests, you can always drop them, and I'll try to catch that. Jamie said 7 hens, 2 roos, a white guinea, and 10 turkeys. I need some of your turkeys, Jamie. I wish you lived closer. We think now that the other turkey may be a female. Somebody that we know looked at the video and says that's a female. So we'll have to find us a male turkey to have babies. We're looking for a tom turkey. We can't find one. We're also looking for some female ducks because we have so many male ducks that are just beating up on our females. So this little duck is going to be in for a rough time until we get enough females out there to kind of even it out. If our membership lags, it's because the account is separate and sometimes that gets low on funds. I understand that. You know, we're all biting the bullet on our finances right now, Joy. So it's not going to hurt me if somebody has to drop and then they pick it back up later. You don't have to be a member here. I love everybody. I just really appreciate those that do support this channel. Jamie, you got to get some ducks. Oh, they're so fun. Ducks are fun. You got 3 male dogs? Yeah. My husband brings the duck out at night, and our little Jack Russell Terrier is just biting at the bit, wanting to lick on that duck and probably eat it. So we have to be really careful when it's out. The female likes it, but she's not quite sure about it because she got in trouble when we first got her and she killed a chicken. So she's kind of, trying to be good. But they get excited when we bring the little duck out. And whenever we raise chickens or ducks in the house, we always show them inside the brooder so that they know that they're in there. Dan says we got one old female dog. We love that female dog. We do. We love that female dog. Mine are male. I haven't had a female dog in years. I think the last one we had was a Boston Terrier. Her name was Prissy. And of course, she was fixed, but she also was blind in one eye. And she was a scrappy little dog. Hubby won't let you get ducks. Oh, yeah, Lucy. We love Lucy. I love Lucy. Lucy! Okay, I got you, Joy. So, getting monetized, most of us here are monetized, but getting monetized can seem like a long, long journey. Hey, Twin Brook Acres, welcome in. April says she loves the new ducks at the pond. We got somebody coming up. There she comes. Hey there.
Hey.
How are you?
Great.
What is your first name?
I go by Mikey.
Mikey?
Hold on. I got some feedback here. I don't.
Uh-oh. You got a YouTube channel pulled up? If you got YouTube pulled up, just drop it down. That should take care of it.
I have yours. Okay, here we go. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Mikey. Tell me a little bit of, we lost her. Maybe she'll come back up. Having a little difficulty with StreamYard today and the internet. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, my daughter lives in the country and they have ducks and cows by them. So it's interesting. And she's got a menagerie at her house of cats and dogs. Here we come. Here she comes. Let's get her back up here. We'll try this again. There you are.
Hey.
I said we're having problems with internet today. There we go. I got you up on big screen.
Okay.
So tell me a little.
I'm not the most technical person, as you can tell, but I dropped down, I guess your YouTube live because I was it was lagging on my end. So I apologize for that.
That's okay. I want to welcome in Ruby with Rushing Wind Mountain. Tell me about your channel.
We are a new channel. We just started in March of this year. And myself, I grew up in the city. So raising any kind of livestock, growing a garden, we didn't do that stuff growing up. We went to the grocery store for our food. So with the cost of everything, what they're putting in our foods right now, I have a puppy here at my feet knocking the table, so I apologize. But my husband and I just started to start just a small little homesteading farm here. And I am learning as I go along, watching a lot of YouTube channels, and have gotten a whole lot of useful information that we can use here. But he encouraged me to start our channel here in hopes to inspire others out there that are like me that have absolutely no knowledge on how to garden, run a homestead, raise livestock, or anything like that, that it can be done. So
Wonderful. Hey, Makeup Mom and Son, welcome in. I grew up in the city, but I went to visit my grandparents in the country every year when I was growing up. And my mother had a backyard garden. So I had a lot of experience from that. But when you start getting into the farm animals, it is a whole new ball game because you have to learn how to take care of them, what food they can have, what food they can't have, what medical issues they might have that you'll have to handle without going to the vet, because a lot of times the vets don't see farm animals anymore. You've got to know how to take care of the animals' birthing and everything.
Right.
So it's a learning experience. Gardening for me came natural. Canning, I did some canning with my mother when I was a child, and my grandmother. I watched her can in the kitchen, canning all kinds of stuff with the old pressure canners that were not safe. And she did it on a wood burning stove on top of that. So I learned a lot of that. And then I picked it back up a few years ago. And so, I started noticing prices. The prices were going up, and I was looking at labels and I'm like, I don't even know what these ingredients are. And so I started really researching the foods and things back then. It's a learning process for all of us. So don't feel like you're alone. It really is. And you can always ask questions. We don't mind questions here. Most of the homesteading community will be glad to answer your questions. So
I'm finding this community to be very, very supportive. It's amazing. And I look at it this way: if I haven't gained anything at all by creating this YouTube channel, I have gained so many wonderful relationships that you can tell are going to be long lasting. And it's so nice to be able to make those connections. And if I have a question, I'm finding that I can reach out and simply pick up my phone and make a phone call at this point. And it just keeps growing. It's just been amazing. But yeah, it's definitely a learning process for somebody that's never done it before. Like you were talking canning. I grew up, my grandmother, I just remember riding with her to the farmer's market and, sitting and shelling beans. And I wish that, I guess because I was younger, that she would have taken the time to kind of show me those skills that I feel like are slowly being lost. I mean, she sewed all of her clothes. I just feel like a lot of things are just being lost along the way, and we just need to get back to our roots.
Yeah. I want to welcome in Finding My Life at 60. I can't remember the name of Echo's channel. I don't see it on my screen, but I know somebody has said hello. And to Mary at Blessed to Crochet, thank you for coming in. Yeah, when I was growing up, we lived in the city. We lived down in Memphis. And so my parents would go to the big farmers market down there, and all the produce down there was organic back then. They didn't have a lot of the sprays and stuff being sprayed on everything. And we would get a bushel of this and a bushel of that and come home. Mother would either freeze it or can it. And that's what we ate on. And then when I was a child, I came home with a little, I think it was a pea that we planted in a Dixie cup or something in school. And I went out in the backyard. Mother said, oh, that's sweet. And I went out in the backyard, dug a hole, stuck it in there, came in the house, grabbed some popcorn, planted that, found a potato that was starting to go bad, put it in the ground. And she came out one day and she says, I recognize this plant. Did you do this? I said, yes, ma'am. That next summer or spring, we were out there hand digging a plot she was doing it with a shovel, and I was in there getting all the plugs out. And we planted a garden there, and we did that every year until she got sick. And it was a great time to be with my mom because I was learning so much about gardening from her. As children, we're like sponges. We absorb everything.
Right.
So, right.
Oh, I've got dogs barking. Hold on just a second.
We'll wait. Hello, Blackberry Rock Homestead, Miss Luann. And if I missed anybody, forgive me. Jamie, you said you grew up around it, but you never learned. You were sent outside to play. I was sent outside to play a lot. Saturday mornings was time for us to be in the house cleaning, and y'all, we had wood floors throughout our house, and every piece of furniture got moved from one side of the room to the other, and we hand stripped, mopped, waxed floors every Saturday. Me and my mom, and of course, my job was cleaning windows and dusting when I was a kid. That was kind of neat. But you learn from your parents when you're very young. And even though you were raised in the city, you have that desire. And you know why you have that desire? Do you know why you have that desire to farm and raise animals? I mean, raise gardens?
I think it's in our genes. It's in our blood. I mean, God put us here to take care and sow the land.
Yes, God created man. And as a matter of fact, it is a commandment in Genesis that we would work the land and take care of the animals. So it is. That's a big baby.
Sorry.
That's a big baby,
y'all. We are overloaded. Kelsey, I'm all over. These puppies. I have to tell the story behind this because we have so many. Their mama, my daughter's friend, had a dog that ended up getting pregnant before they could have her fixed. Well, she had puppies, and she had 7, and we were told that her calcium level had gotten low. I apologize. They're calming down now, y'all. I'm so sorry. But I ended up caring for these puppies since they were like 3 weeks old because we had to wean them from mom. We rehomed 2 of them, and every time one would leave, I would cry for weeks. I was trying so hard not to get attached to all these babies, but they have become our babies. And ever since our 3 grown daughters have moved out, we now have fur babies. So anyway, just another addition here on the farm. I mean, it gets hectic and crazy around here, but that's just part of life around here.
That is true. And we have dogs. Our dogs are rescues.
Mm-hmm.
And they're little ankle biters. I call them ankle biters. One of them's a Jack Russell Terrier, and the other one's a Jack Weenie. A lot of fun to have in the house. And we also have a cat that adopted us. So I really don't want any more animals indoors. You know, I'm getting older, and I'm like, I really don't want to do this anymore. Mm-hmm. But I do love them. And we have, you know, in our family, my sister and my niece and my daughter all have taken in rescues along with me. So it's just part of our family. My grandparents on both sides of the family farmed. So I was experiencing some of that mostly on my dad's side, because by the time I came along, my mother's parents had moved to the city. They weren't on a farm anymore. Mm-hmm. But my grandmother,
a lot of people got out of, you know, over time. It was more convenient to move closer into the cities, and
right.
I don't
see
know
how pretty my daughter is, y'all. Look at that pretty picture.
She's
a beautiful girl. Got a big
It's hard to turn those rescues away. We our cat actually we brought her here. My husband, I pick on him. Her name is Snots. We were leaving a restaurant in a pretty busy area, and this cat, she just walked straight up to my husband, and he picked her up. She was runny nose and everything. We brought her home and kept her inside for a while and gave her some medicine. And anyway, she's here, and she is one of the best cats that we've had. So, but that's how she got her name, because she just had a really bad cold when we got her, and brought her in because we didn't want anything to happen to her, you know, being out in a busy area like that. It's hard to turn them away.
Yeah. And I lived in the city for quite a while. My kids have been raised pretty much in Memphis. They were raised in upstate New York, and then we moved back to Memphis. And when we were in upstate New York, there was streams and forest behind us, and you know, a lot of places that they could go and just roam, and it was a better life for them. When we moved to the city, it was a culture shock. You know, they had to kind of be reined in a little bit. And I really and truly was so glad when we finally decided to leave Memphis. It was not the place to live and raise a family any longer.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I still
are getting like that now. It's crazy. Yeah, moving to the country for me was definitely a culture shock. I mean, there was a lot for me to learn being out here, and it's so funny because, you know, my mom would come and she grew up in the city, so being out in the country, she's definitely not used to being out like this. And she asked me, you know, are you not scared being here? No, I actually feel safer being here than I do anywhere in the city.
That's great. Well, anyway, my grandparents, my mother's parents got off the farm and moved to the city as they aged. My other set of grandparents lived in a log cabin down in Mississippi until 1975. Did not have indoor water. They had a well, and they had the pull string light in the middle of the rooms. That was all the lights they had. And they had the big potbelly stoves in the middle of the room to heat the room. And she still cooked on a wood-burning stove and used the old wringer washers. So I remember all that from my childhood.
Yeah, those are the best memories, I think.
Yeah.
And just I love any type of documentary or story that they put on, and you know, how people live back then, because I really feel like when things hit the fan, we're gonna have to know how to survive like they did. And
well, that's exactly why I started my channel, was because we've got a generation growing up right now that think water comes out of a plastic bottle.
Right.
They don't know what is a weed outside, what is actually food to eat. They don't know how to cook. They spend all their day on video games. They really have no social life. And I think that we are really letting down our future generations by not teaching them something.
Right.
Yeah, and my other daughter is living in Memphis, and we're praying that they will find a home outside of Memphis. They're actually looking over in Arkansas, I believe.
Right. And it's so hard to find stuff now with the prices. I mean, everything's just going crazy.
Yeah. My daughter says, I remember great grand's house and great aunts with the fruit trees in Mississippi. Yes.
Right.
Both my daughters were blessed by my grandparents. They were able to meet my dad's grandparents. They were still little. And they were up in age. They were in their 80s, I think, when they came along. Hush. See, dogs.
You can relate. So see, we relate. You can't help it. It just happens, and that's life around here. You got all the animals.
Coco. Hey, the Bud Files. They are like 18-month-old toddlers, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they act like kids.
Yeah, we love being in the country. I wish I had done this sooner, that my kids could have been here growing up in this area, because it's so much, the community is so much like family. It's just amazing. I was thankful that my girls got to meet my dad's side of the family. a little bit. They're getting to know some of my relatives on my mom's side of the family a little bit. But we don't get together as family anymore like we used to unless there's a funeral, and that's so sad.
Right.
I miss sitting down at the Sunday table and having Sunday dinner with everybody gathered around. I miss holidays with family gathered around. It's not about the presents wrapped under the tree, but it is about your presence in the home that makes it so important. And I don't need the presents. I got so much stuff stacked in this house. It's unbelievable.
Right. Right. And those are the memories that you can't replace.
Yeah.
Our family, I did a video on it one time because where we are at right now, my husband and I have been very blessed. We are in his grandparents' old place.
Awesome.
So we are trying to just keep their legacy alive here and, add on to what they started. They had, a couple of pear trees, plum trees, and things like that. My husband's grandfather always gardened, raised goats. And Nana, I tell you, we miss her so much. She was the rock of this family. She was the glue that held everyone together. There was always somebody down here visiting. She made everyone feel welcome. And, that's kind of, I told my husband doing this channel and being here, anytime any of our viewers come on to visit, I want all of them to feel just as welcome as Nana would have for anybody coming down. I mean, she just didn't turn anybody away. And we still try to get together and do things, for holidays and birthdays, probably a lot more than most families do these days. But it's with Nana not here, we're missing that. We're missing that. She was definitely the rock.
Right. We miss my dad. My dad, my stepmom were really the rock in our family. They kind of solidified everybody. And when they left, the family just kind of fell apart. And it happens, unfortunately. You can't replace them. We're supposed to move on, and it's hard to move on sometimes. You love somebody so much that you just can't let go.
Right.
I think that was a lot of the problem with our family personally, with my children, because that was their granddad, grandma and grandpa, and it was hard to let go. My daughter says she missed going to the powwows. We used to be very, very involved in the Native American community. Hush! I do have Native American blood in me. I found out that it's a Nansemond tribe. It goes way back 5 generations. And so really it's not that far back if you think about it. Because my grandparents, my parents, me, and now my daughters, that's 4 generations right there. Hush. Mouthy. She don't want him jumping on the chair. She's being mean. Come on, Roscoe. Come on. Come on. There he is.
Oh, look at it.
Big
hey,
boy.
Baby.
Now she's going to be jealous. Come over here.
Yeah, they always want what the other one has.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy, welcome in. That's Rudy Iraheta.
Yeah, definitely what you were saying, studying your ancestry and things like that. I'm just kind of getting into that a little bit. And it's interesting because it gives you a sense of knowing where you came from and the things that are going on in our country, and the younger generation that's losing that sense of what this country was founded on, the sacrifices that were made for our freedoms, and not understanding our generation, where we're coming from, to explain to them how our liberties are slowly being taken away. And it just amazes me at how blind a lot of people still are and very deceived, and just falling right into this trap.
Yeah, I agree with you. We have lost so much in this country, and There's a lot of division going on right now. I don't care which way the elections go. We're headed for civil war, and people need to be prepared. And I keep hearing God tell me, get your house in order, get your house in order. So
we do the same thing.
We got Rudy. Rudy's in the basement, and Rudy likes numbers, y'all. So if he's dropping numbers, just type the numbers out for him. So I don't know if he dropped back down. So maybe I'll try to get him up here for just a moment. But it is so important for us to get that family time back. And I do want to go into my Bible study here in a moment. I think it's important to share that. Rudy, you're on camera, baby.
Yes.
There we go. Got Rudy up here. Let me change the screen out so we don't look so funny. That's not working. Let's see if this one does it. Hey, Rudy. We're talking about family and how important family is to us. We've lost that family unit, where we get together. And it is so important for us to be a part, like me as a grandmother, to be a part of my grandchildren's life, for them to get to know me, because those are memories that they can hang on to and they can glean from when they become adults. My children to be around me so that when they have problems in the future and I'm no longer here, they can look back on those things that I taught them without even knowing I'm teaching them.
Right.
Things like that. It's so, so vitally important for us to have that family unit back. And, God's word says in the last days that our families will become fragmented. And we're seeing that, unfortunately. And I've been seeing it for a long time. I'm going to get into the Bible study because we're running out of time. But I do appreciate you coming up, Mickey and Rudy.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
I'm really enjoying your channel and your content that you're sharing with all of us, because I just feel like we need so much of this type of content in our world today. It's sad to see just even our church just slowly dying, and we've got to take that stand and keep fighting the good fight.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. And my church family is as important as my YouTube community is, as my own family is. It's just a part of who I am. And I love my church family. I love the YouTube community. I love my children and my grandchildren. I'm not going to lie. They're the light of my day when I get to visit with them, talk to them on the phone, or, just go and just sit with them for a little while. It's just a wonderful feeling of family. So I'm going to read out of Luke 21, verses 25 through 33 to start. And I've got to find, I'm in the wrong Luke. 21, 25 through 33. I'm reading out King James Version. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. When these things shall begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And he spake unto them a parable, behold, the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. And likewise ye, when you see the things come to pass, know that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till this be fulfilled. And heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. So we saw, or we heard, most of us didn't get to see the whole thing. We had a harvest moon a what was it? Harvest moon. I can't remember now. I had it all in my head. Now I went blank.
Yeah, I had somebody sent me I'm like on my phone, and I left my phone downstairs. Wasn't there like some type of
A super moon. It was a
right?
harvest moon, super moon, and then we had a lunar eclipse on top of that.
Mm,
So 3 different
right.
things going on with the moon at one time. We also, at the end of this month, are going to have a second moon in the Earth's orbit. It's not actually a moon, it's an asteroid, but it's going to shine as bright as the moon. So these are signs in the heavens, and that's why I wanted to bring this up today, to let you know that the Bible is real. God tells us what things are going to happen. I don't need a soothsayer or a card reader or anything else to tell me what's going to happen. God's word tells me what's going to happen. So I thought that was really interesting. I'm going to go on because I have some more scripture I want to share. I'm going to go to Daniel 2:21. That's Old Testament. 2:21. And he changes the times and the season. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that no understanding. He is going to set up kings and kingdoms. Nobody else is going to set those up. God does that. He can remove somebody that is in office as much as he can put somebody in office. And we need to be respectful of that, even though we may not like the person that has been chosen. We know that evil is running rampant right now in the world. Our nation's not the only nation suffering all of this high prices and things that are happening and losing our freedoms, like freedom of speech, freedom of religion. So many freedoms are being taken away from us through the internet. And we need to be aware that these things are God-given freedoms. We have a right to speak. We have and voice our opinion. We have a right to be heard. We also have the right to hear others. And, with all these election cycles, what I have seen is we are not willing to listen to the other side. So it's always one-sided. And that's not the way it was in the past when I was growing up. The political climate in our nation and other nations is on the brink of bringing civil war here, and also wars breaking out across the globe. So be aware of that. This is why God keeps telling me to get your house in order. Psalms 46:10. Let me go back here.
Do you mean Luke 46:50 and 8, and verse 8, where it says, "The Lord is my refuge and strength, and He is."
Yes, the Lord is my refuge and strength. But I'm going to read 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. So God is telling us in his word that he is going to be exalted no matter what happens in this world. So we need to be aware of that. The last verse I'm going to read is out of Luke chapter 8, verses 17 and 18. Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Take heed, therefore, how you hear, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken, even that which he seemeth to have. So that's Jesus speaking again, and he's speaking about future events. We need to be aware that this life is temporary, it's temporal. And so we need to be praying and trusting God that we will be able to get through this. Luke 46:10. I don't think there's a 46 in here.
But in 33, 42 and 43 says, "Call unto me, and thou shalt answer thee." Is there a verses 42 and 43 from Luke? Can you say 42, 43? Were you alive those years?
There's not a 42, 43.
In chapter 8,
Okay.
you were read.
46:10. There is no 46:10 in Luke. And you wanted chapter 8. What verses was it?
Does it have 42 and 43 as well as 33? But
Yes.
But I know in Luke 33 it says that if you call unto me and thou shalt answer thee, this would be the nations that God is.
Hey, Tammy, welcome in. That's Mountain Grandma.
So how's everything been? Yeah, we were talking about last week about the birth, and pardon me about the about the Bible verse. I must have did a typo about Ezekiel 44 on Ezekiel 44, 35, 39.
That's okay. And we're going to get ready to close out. We do have prayer requests. Al Chafe out my back door.
Yeah, and you know that speaking about family,
Rudy, I'm talking right now, baby. Al Chafe has a prayer request on his community tab that is a very serious prayer request for Nikki. If everybody here will go over there and just give him some support and love, I would appreciate that. It's Al Chafe out my back door. He is one of our channels that grew up with me. And even though I don't get to watch his channel, I still want to support him and his family. So the prayer is for Nikki. She was in the hospital not too long ago, and she probably has got some bad news. We want to let that be a prayer request. Victoria G has a prayer request for those who believe the lies instead of truth. Her husband has had several tell him that they're I'm not going to go into the votings, but anyway, just be praying for our elections. I think that's the best way to say it. Pray for our elections. I am praying for God to remove evil people from positions that they should not be holding in the first place. I am praying that God puts godly men and women in office to lead our nation according to our Constitution and according to the Bible. That's the way that I vote. Not everybody is pleased with me with my votes. It doesn't make any difference. It's my vote. But it does make a difference because I'm going to be standing before God one day, and I'm going to have to answer to everything that I've done on this earth, whether it be good or bad. And I want to be one of them that he tells, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Luann's mother has been in the hospital, and I know it's a big burden on Luann. So pray for Luann and her mom. So I'm going to write that down.
Ooh, and pray for my mother as well. She was in the hospital as well.
And Rudy's mom. And I know that Nancy at our treasured home has been dealing with blood clots. We're going to pray for her. Any other prayer requests before we close out, folks? We need to get those in. I've got 2 minutes left, so you need to type fast. Thank you so much, Mickey and Rudy, for coming up. I know I didn't spend a lot of time with you this time, Rudy, but maybe next time. You got your Vlogmas out today, Rudy? All right. Yeah.
Thank you again for
okay.
Danny, come on.
Danny is my husband's stepdad, and Amber is our niece. Both have been in ICU down in Memphis in 2 different hospitals. And I got a brother-in-law named Tommy that also needs a lot of prayers. And they're all medical. All 3 of them are medical, as well as the caretakers, as my husband's 2 sisters. So keep our family in prayers. And then, we all have health issues. I think just about everybody has some kind of health issue going on. So be praying for that as well. I really and truly appreciate and love each and every one of you that have come through the chat today. You were prayed over, whether you know it or not, before the live began, because I pray every time I do this that I ask the Lord to bless each and every channel and person that comes through, whether they're listening or they're chatting. You are truly, truly appreciated. Mary wants us to pray for an aunt that has terminal cancer. Her name is Patty. So we'll put it down here. I'm not going to go through all the different illnesses and stuff, but we know most of these are for illnesses today. So we're going to be praying about that. Pray about your financial situations and how you're going to get your house in order because things are going to get really rocky from here on out, I think. We've already seen how bad it's gotten in the last 7.5 years. The riots and all the things that have gone on that shouldn't be going on in our nation. Just be prayerful about your situation. Get yourself in order.
It's 9.5.
Oh, Jessica, Leslie's sister and Tina, her mom. Oh, Lord. I hate to hear that, April. So we'll be praying for Jessica and her mom. What is her mom's name? I can't remember. I'm having a hard time with my memory with some things. These are friends of the family and my daughter's niece-in-law, her family. So we're going to close out in prayer, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Tina, okay, thank you. Pray about all these upcoming collaborations, especially the ones with the giveaways, that they be successful, and jump on board, folks. Jump on board if you want to grow your channel. All right, let's bow. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for each and every person that has come through this live today. Thank you for the topics that you have given me and the scripture that you have given me to share today, Father. Let everybody take that to heart. Lord, we have a long list today of prayer needs in our community. So I'm going to name names. Father, you know each and every one of their needs. Gail with Gail Southern Living, Nikki, Luann and her mom, Rudy's mom, Miss Nancy, my father-in-law, Danny, my niece, Amber, my brother-in-law, Tommy, Patty, Jessica, and Tina, Father, and all of the unspokens that are out there, Father. Bless us as we go out, Father, and continue through the weekend and next week, Father. We thank you for the many blessings that you bestow upon us. Help us to get our houses in order, Father. Not only that, but if there be any among us that does not know Jesus, Father, let today be the day that they come to know him. Give them dreams and visions of Jesus, Father, that they may know him like I know him. Thank you for our guests, Mickey and Rudy, Father, and thank you for everyone that is watching. May they be blessed, Father, by you. Thank you for all you have done, are doing, and will continue to do. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much.
For coming in.
God bless you, and God bless
45
all of you and your families.
4,501.
Thank you. Y'all be blessed, everybody. I'll see you next week, God willing.
Thank you again.
All right.
God bless.